Yeah, we've got a transmission coming in.
10-4.
Yeah, Brian, it's looking more and more like the Arizona Coyotes of the National Hockey League will be relocating to Utah next season.
Players and management has been told they are on their way. They will play next season in Salt Lake City.
The state is a sports state, which leads me to this.
Yes, it is. Welcome in live to the Delta Center. It is time to meet Utah's NHL franchise.
I'll answer it for him for the umpteenth time.
What?
That's right. Welcome back to the Puck Drop Podcast. I'm Cole, the NHL Music Man Chapman. I'm here with Lieutenant Dangle D, once again, Destin Edgington, and we are brought to you by Hockey Stops. And we are continuing our episode with Jay Stevens because there's just too much to talk about with this guy.
This guy's amazing.
So Jay, I told you we're gonna kind of drop a bomb on you.
All right, let's hear it.
And here it goes. And this kind of ties into our golf conversation that we talked about earlier.
What's your handicap?
So,
golf. Golf is my handicap.
Yeah. So diving into like the history of Utah and hockey in Utah. What comes to mind is Solid Golden Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yep.
And anybody that knows hockey in Utah, you know the Solid Golden Eagles. A lot of history there. A lot of amazing players came out of the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. They won how many championships? 6 or 7 championships.
Yep.
Like
different leagues.
Absolutely insane.
Name 5 players that you would adore.
That I would adore?
From the Eagles.
Well,
the Eagles?
Yeah. That you watched.
My all-time favorite is everybody's all-time favorite, Theron Fleury.
All right.
But then Rich Chernomaz. It's hard to not love him.
Yeah.
Ziggy Palffy, the fact that he played here, how amazing was that? Joey Mullen. I can give you 5. I can give you 30 if you want.
Yeah. Keep going.
Wayne Cowley, Trevor Kidd. I mean, and Paul Skidmore. It just goes on and on. Like, yeah, it's
so diving into that. A lot of players that came from Utah and from that team are just they've made history in hockey in and of itself.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Salt Palace. They played at the Salt Palace.
yeah, so such a cool venue.
And I can get more.
Yeah. So diving into the history of hockey in Utah, it made me and Destin like wonder like
how could we bring them back?
Yeah. How could we bring them back? 1. And 2, how can we make it happen? So we're bringing at least one of the players.
3.
At least
that you
one.
Just mentioned.
Yeah.
You're gonna shit.
We're not gonna name names, but we're gonna bring them to the Puck Drop Podcast.
Okay.
And we're gonna go golfing. We want you to come with us.
Sure.
Absolutely.
But the big movement of this part is the history that was here in Utah. We want it to be
ceremonial.
Essentially, we want the torch to be passed.
Yeah.
So we're thinking ceremonial puck drop.
Well, not and we don't even need our name mentioned. By all means.
And we're not looking for a shout out. We don't want our logo on the jumbotron or anything. We just want to help put this together, and we want you to help with your contacts because we do have players coming here from the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. Very awesome players.
Already confirmed, by the way.
So, we've had this talk actually as we were starting to talk about a lot of stuff. There was that talk about who from the old team was going to drop the first puck, and the fact that Skidmore still lives here. It was such a huge part of the team. Palazar, it's too bad none of this stuff could have happened.
We've already
sooner.
got it done.
So it's cool.
Trust me.
I talked with Brian Patafi, and we were going to have Theron Fleury on my show too. As far as bringing somebody like that in, I don't think that'd be that hard. And I know that
we've already got you taken care of.
Perfect. Ryan's all for it.
Yeah.
Last I talked to him, and I know
so we want to collaborate in this.
Of course,
in
we don't need the recognition, but we've already been in contact with all of them.
Yeah, cool.
Let's make it happen.
I'll talk to the people on my end, but like I said, I know that they've already been talking about it, and I don't know because it could even be somebody. They might have somebody else in mind, that because I mean, people that coached here that are now GMs elsewhere.
Come on, no.
People that played
Give it to
here.
the people that deserve it.
Because
Lyle
No,
Bradley,
you've got,
rest in
like-
peace, Lyle, dude.
Yeah.
Like, no. Bring back the Golden Eagles, and we're helping with that.
But still
we're
be
pushing for
still be
everything we
Golden
can.
Eagles guys. It's
If it can
Yeah.
happen game
You
one,
know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
against the Blackhawks, Blackhawks, that would be
What'd
awesome.
you say?
I said Black Ops.
you didn't say the other thing.
Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah, so we're thinking we've been in contact with multiple players from the Golden
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah, cool.
And we were lucky enough for them to message us back. And it was a tango. It was a dance, right? We had to be careful with what we said
Well,
and how we went about it.
Shout
And
out
it was
Arc
a struggle.
Westudios for everything.
Yeah, and
Like,
and they've been
We're
helping
gonna
us
bring
with,
them in, and we're gonna make this happen.
So we're gonna fly them in.
Nice. Very cool.
And obviously the main goal is we want
And
them
it's
to
not
be
for
sitting
us.
in that chair.
It's not for us.
I'll find out for you guys. I'll know by the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So be in contact with us. We want to collaborate on it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We got to shout you
Ceremonial
out
puck
straight
drop
up.
from solid
We're calling you out
Golden Eagles.
on live.
I just want cool things. This isn't what I thought would be the bomb. I thought,
Well, the bomb is you're going to come golfing with us, and
Absolutely.
if you do enough
I don't know if you guys are ready for this. I put people's lives at risk when I golf.
that's why it's a bomb.
It's a crapshoot where the ball's going to go.
Are you a lefty or a righty?
I don't know.
I'll play righty if you want. I putt right-handed, but I golf left-handed.
Oh,
So
I
it's
do-
up to you.
I just grab somebody's club and hit it. It doesn't matter. As a goalie, I can go either way.
Hey, you are a goalie.
I just don't care. Like
Damn
it just.
it! I got to show you a video. I want to see if I'm doing it right. After we're done with here, we might have to throw up a snippet because I got to send a video in just to make sure this happens.
Yeah.
I got to show you if I'm doing things right when I play goalie in men's
Okay.
league. I
might be the wrong person to ask,
No,
'cause
I'm
I
going to
just
ask
make-
you anyway.
make it
No,
all
hell
up as
no.
I go.
Nope, no.
But yeah, I'd love to golf.
So at the end of the day, we're going to fly people out here, and we want to. Obviously, we want them on our podcast, but we also want to pay due respects to
Absolutely.
the Utah community, and it almost feels like a necessity, right? Like
Yeah.
because they grew. They were such a big part of the hockey community.
My childhood, man. Like,
Yeah, same. And for me, that's why Rich Turnham is so high. Because when it comes down to it, Fleury played 14 games here.
how do you
But-
know?
Well, hey, he won a gold medal. At the
Quit
Maverick
saying my
Center,
favorite number, dude.
Yeah.
14 games.
Well, that's funny. My first year playing hockey, I wore number 9 because that's what Fleury wore here his first
I'm
year here.
5'8".
And then he went 14 when he was in the NHL.
He wears 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He knows.
He made a huge impact. Like, I don't know of a player that
Major.
made a bigger
Major.
impact. Yeah.
major.
dude.
So let that cook in your brain.
Let that resonate.
We want to work together. Again, we're not looking for
Shout
like,
out Theo. If you're watching.
We're not looking for like a shout out. We're not looking for
Shouting him out?
We're
That's
not
my favorite
No,
player.
hey, the Puck Drop podcast is not looking for a shout out on.
No, not looking
we're not
for
looking
it,
to
but I'm
benefit from
shouting
this in
Theo
any
out.
way. We want the Salt Lake Golden Eagles players to be 100% benefited from
No,
this
without a
because
doubt.
it makes sense.
They
right?
deserve it.
Yeah, and I
Absolutely.
know that that's been brought up.
Yeah,
I
and
know
we
that-
want to
I know
help in
that's-
any way that we can.
That's something they're cognitive of. And I
Yeah.
know, yeah.
So
we'll
let's
just
work-
leave it at
Gotcha.
that.
Yeah,
Let's just leave it at that.
Let's go.
We can talk more off camera.
Yeah,
Let's go.
But-
yeah. Anyway, hot button.
Yeah. All right.
So diving into your career, let's
My career?
So hang on. So you might be the only ECHL player in history to have a goal saving percentage of 100%.
Yeah.
I'm so glad
I
you
looked
brought
up your
that up.
stats. I looked up your
I'm
stats.
so glad you
7
brought that
shots,
up. Are
7
you
shots
shitting
against,
me?
7 saves.
You know,
And you got called in as a e-bug.
As an
And
e-bug.
Hockey for Dummies. It's an what does e-bug stand for?
emergency backup goalie. It's an acronym
Yeah.
for emergency
Yep.
backup goalie. And this
my
will be my
gosh.
26th year doing it.
2016.
And yeah,
You're still on the roster?
Still doing it. Yeah.
Yes.
Now it's
Hey,
now. Hold on, it gets bigger.
Don't miss. Come on now.
It gets bigger because it might not just be ECHL anymore that I'm e-bugging. So again,
See, this is why I'm sending my info over to him so I can be.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
3-0 as a goalie.
yeah,
and
for some reason I ordered
Hey,
baby
just don't
blue
count
pads
me
the
out.
other day. But yeah,
Love it.
What made me mad about that is when I got off the ice, I thought they gave me 13 or 17 saves. And then when they went back, they're like, ECHL is only going to give you 7 saves. I'm like, I had 7 saves
Officially.
immediately.
Come on.
Because I went in, we were down, we were killing off a 3-on-5 penalty.
Oh,
And so I was getting peppered like right from the
Yeah.
get go.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit with Ollie.
yeah.
Ollie, not Ollie. Ollie.
He brought you
Ollie
up. We
Olsen.
talked with him on the phone for like an hour.
Ollie
And he's
Olsen.
like, sorry. Wow, we need to blur that one out.
No, so Ollie, you know Ollie.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
He's a
We had a long Daryl. We had a long, good conversation. He's like, dude, he's like
guy.
our backup and come in and
Yeah.
he would just do work. And I'm like, how's Calgary fitting? You know,
Yeah.
you still sitting there? What about today?
he
Hope
was
you're
fun
watching,
to talk
bud.
to.
But
Yeah.
he had nothing but good things to
About-
say about you about it.
That's
you
good.
know?
That's good to know. Yeah. Well,
I mean
the
it.
crazy thing is, I've been there just forever. Like,
Well,
you know,
yeah,
so I've got to know. I mean, that's kind of how all this came about. Like, I've just been e-bugging, and I was an equipment rep, so I just got to know all these guys through all this stuff, and I just won't go away.
Yeah.
He's a smart man.
herpes.
He's
I'm
a
just here.
very
That's
yeah.
the way to do it, man.
Hey,
That's
I'm
how
right
I
there
feel
with you.
like with applying to hockey, the Utah Hockey Club. I'm like dropping my resume to every single job there is. I'm like,
Oh.
hey, if I fit,
Well,
I fit.
I'm blessed enough to have him reach out to me to have this conversation with you. So
I'm not kidding. When the announcement came, and when Ryan Smith called me out in the press conference,
Yeah.
and people are like, "Oh,
yeah,
Jay
yeah.
somehow weaseled in there too." I heard from every person I think I've ever known, because we all want a job there,
Yep.
right? Everybody
Yeah.
wants to work
Absolutely.
there. And I've done the exact same thing. I've dropped my resume every time they post a job opening. I send in my resume.
There you go.
yeah.
And I even paid for a thing we called Job Scan or something that's supposed to get you through all the filters.
Yeah.
But
Like,
in
yeah.
talking to him, and like we were talking about, so for everybody that's freaking out, they had 70 plus jobs to fill, and they've barely filled any of them because they're starting at the top.
Yeah.
They're starting with vice presidents
Right.
and stuff. So if you can't be a vice president if you haven't been something before.
Right.
So they're looking for people from other NHL or NFL or Major
Of
League
course.
Baseball, whatever.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Those are the
You
people
gotta
they're
have
bringing
that
in.
navigation
And then,
of-
like we were talking about last episode, that's when you're going to get your local guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's the intent after that, is to just fill it with locals.
Right. Well, for sure. And
That's the
and,
hope.
and we're not looking for a job. Well, I'm not. He is.
I
I'm
want
having
to work
fun.
for the NHL in
Should
any,
be.
in,
I
in,
should
in,
be.
in any way possible.
And that's where I'm going to, obviously, I'm in touch with you. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to wait for it to
We're
happen.
passionate enough about this that I would love to.
Continue
I'll
this.
I'll take a pay cut.
Hey.
I'm not even kidding. I'll
No.
take a pay
Dude.
cut from what I'm making now,
I'll
just
quit
so
my
I can
damn
do
day
what I
job.
love.
You would have to, and that's the other thing that people
That's
don't
fine.
understand about pro sports.
I'm in it.
It doesn't pay well
No.
unless you're one of the athletes,
Right.
And then it only pays well for like 4 years, and then
Yeah.
you got to find a real job,
Right.
So
Well,
yeah,
I'm not going to quit stocks. I'm not going to quit.
it makes sense. Like,
You know what I mean?
but if there was an
this is-
opportunity
you
to
know
go
what?
do something,
This
it's
is
like
my
everybody's
passion.
dream. Yeah,
This is my life.
it's the NHL.
It's hockey,
it's a big
baby.
deal. We have
There's
the
no
NHL in
family
Utah.
like
It's a big
hockey
deal.
family.
Nope.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll interview. I don't give a schmutz if you're Ryan Smith right now. Except I wouldn't say shit. But like, I mean it. Like,
Yeah.
there's no family like hockey family. You're gonna hear that every time I talk.
Oh, agreed.
It's
So speaking of how Ryan Smith brought you in on that interview
Yeah.
at the draft party, how
Yeah.
was that? Explain the energy there. Explain how that went.
At the draft,
Yeah.
yeah.
well,
The draft.
hold on.
so
He's
did-
a very energetic guy.
He's amazing.
Like that
Amazing.
guy can carry everything
He-
on the world on his shoulders. Almost.
Whatever
It's
he's
like,
selling, everybody's buying. The minute
absolutely.
you
Well,
get around that kind of
comes-
energy,
but that comes with a lot of
billionaires,
yeah. I didn't want to be the one to say it.
people that have figured themselves
I was
out.
gonna say
yeah.
money, but
Like, because he came from nothing, he built himself
yeah,
up.
absolutely.
You know, and he even talks about it, how forever he didn't have any money, and then all of a sudden they started making money.
But he's been humble, along with his dad
Yeah,
and brother.
very humble. And
Very humble.
when you get around that energy, and then I was just trying to be the reporter there.
Of course.
But I had like legit questions I wanted to ask. So the minute I ask it, then he's like, "Oh, Jay," and then he pulls
Hey,
me in.
come here.
Yeah. Oh, cool. And he's done it at a couple. He did it at the meet the team thing, and he's been the way he's treated me has been just surreal. Like,
Good.
I never expected any of this to happen. He's been nothing but good to me
Well,
the
I'll go
entire
back to
time.
I'll go back to like Utah.
Hold on,
Utah.
hold on.
That's
Hey,
that's
I'm
us
gonna-
Utah.
I'm gonna- I told you I was going to cut you
we're
off.
nice people.
I told you I was going to cut you off. And well deserved, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely well deserved.
Baby, and that's what he was saying. He's like, "You've been the only voice here
Told
for
you I was
so
gonna
long,
cut you
right?"
off.
So
At some point.
and it was cool because even like he
That's
even
facts.
gave me some interviews that he wasn't giving to like the legit sports broad. Like I went in
Propaganda of
I
things.
interviewed Coach Bear,
Yeah.
and I walked out, and Dave Fox was standing there. He's like, "Hey, why does this guy? I don't even recognize that guy. Why is he interviewing? Why can't I interview the coach?" And they were just like, "Because Ryan set that up. Because that guy's been doing hockey forever, and we're just going to throw him a bone."
If in fact that we would love to be there for the early season, early practices. You know, if that's the thing, I don't know if it's open to the public or anything.
Well,
but
no.
Usually they
my
are.
God, that would be
Usually
awesome.
they are.
That would we will be there 100%.
Well,
That
and
would
we've
be
got
cool.
a couple things lined up that we're trying to build the youth hockey program with what we're doing, and it's working its way.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, like I'm having fun. Shout out to Cole for making this all even happen. And I mean, we're not even done yet, but like it's
just
so
getting
surreal
started.
to me. I'm just
Can I drop a bomb?
yeah.
Let's do it.
And I don't know, this isn't anything for fact, but if you go back and you look at Colorado, Las Vegas, Seattle, you look at what happens to youth hockey when NHL teams come in, it's going to change 100%.
without a doubt.
So what is there now, including the Junior Grizzlies, the Golden Eagles,
So
that stuff's all, it's not going to change next season.
No.
And it might not
be
change
over
the
the next
season
3 or
after.
4 years.
3 years.
Yeah, but
3
pretty
years.
soon that's all going to change.
So with that being said, I've actually brought this up in one of the previous episodes.
Well, Tom Rock, we talked to Tom Rock
I was
last
talking,
week. He's the president
and
of
I was
high
like,
school hockey.
no, it was actually 2 times before that. And I said,
we've talked about it with many people.
and I said they might go Canadian style, like where
Similar,
you're gonna have,
similar.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
Where it's gonna be more of a dialect toward one community of the same team with different. I mean, you could go county, but it's going to be the same team, but you're going state, and it's gonna indulge outward, right?
Yeah,
like you're gonna build a. I can't even think of the word.
We've talked about it on my podcast a few times, and what I expect to happen is you'll have a rink will have its house team.
Yeah.
And in that house team, they'll make an all-star team. And then that all-star team will play
and then
the
you
other
play for
rinks.
state. And then you go to like national or regionals and then nationals. And then it's like,
well, kind of. But so that rink's all-star team plays the other rinks. And then they pull an all-star team out of all the all-star teams. That's Team Utah. In each age group, that's Team Utah. That's the team that goes to the AAA.
Yep.
That's the team that'll go and represent. Instead of having the way we have it now, which is the way we've had to have it.
well,
We
and
needed it for the
granted-
support. We needed it for the parent money. We needed it for whatever.
Oh, of course.
That part will change, and you'll have pure representation of better athletes wearing the
at
Utah jersey instead of
competitive level of where it needs to be.
And
Yes.
it'll
And that's
kind
what
of
I'm
thin
trying
out. It'll thin out the parent part of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And their goal is to make it more affordable. Which I don't know if you guys just heard the news about Bauer being sold.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
it was?
So Bauer's on the table right now of being sold, and it's gonna increase the price
who,
of
Fanatics?
skates. No, not Fanatics.
That's a
Look,
jersey, dog.
I heard about that.
It's a $500 million deal,
if not more.
and they're going to turn around and raise the prices on everything. And I was just looking,
No.
like if I wasn't who I was, if I wasn't an equipment rep, there's no way I could have, on a firefighter salary, raised my son as a hockey goalie,
Right.
playing AA and AAA, outgrowing his pads every year.
Yep.
And he was in the nicest pads you could get because I worked for Brian's, and I would just call Brian's and say, hey, send me another set. Or I'd call Warrior and I'd be like, hey, my son just broke, like, send me more sticks.
Straps. Yeah,
Sticks
yeah,
are $350 now.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Pfft, Yeah.
Now, luckily
Skates
my-
are $1,250 bucks.
Yeah. And luckily my Warrior stick,
Dude,
I
it's
got a
insane.
Warrior stick when I was with Vancouver
That
4
real
years
quick,
ago.
Yeah,
and it still works.
Yeah. Real quick, shout out to anybody that donates and
yeah.
keep donating because you know what? Somebody's loss might be somebody's gain, and let the game keep going.
Well, shout out
Because-
to Don Korth. That's another guy you guys need to have on
Absolutely.
your show. Don
Shout him
Korth's
out.
out there just making the laps and making
Love
sure
it.
people have equipment. I mean, he
love
is
it.
doing the work that
type
needs to
him
be
down.
done.
Love it. Don Korth.
Don Korth is killing
Is
it.
that like Korth?
Korth.
Korth.
Korth's Rebels.
Okay.
Guy's been around forever. Former firefighter.
Hey, thank
and
you,
just
sir.
Absolutely keeping kids in hockey.
Good. Love
He's-
it.
he's
Keep
been
doing you.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Keep doing you, man. I mean, that's
it.
insane.
Yeah.
I love that.
We we want to build this community up. We're not so much in the Utah Hockey Club news, like I was kind of saying. We want to talk to the people in the community that are making things happen that don't really get to tell their story.
And I've always been the type to just keep it community until it happens to what it needs to, right? Yep. And I want to stay that way because that's like what I'm about.
I love talking to people. I love hearing people's stories. That's
what my podcast has been all about, and it's great. Get out there, get all the stories.
Fun. It's so
find out. Like it's been amazing for me to go out and listen to everybody else how they got into hockey. Mm-hmm. Even the guys, Daniel Brickley or whatever, guys that had to struggle at some point to figure some stuff out.
He was a turd to me.
No, that's
that falls in the category of Theo.
That's Matt.
Matt.
Daniel's the son that played.
Away, right?
Yeah, Matt passed away.
Oh, Matt. That's right.
Matt was phenomenal for Utah hockey.
Absolutely
phenomenal for Utah hockey.
And rest in peace.
And he was one of my first guests, so I got to. Unfortunately, KSL wasn't really hip on how to tell these stories, so they limited us to a half hour. Well, but that guy had stories that we should have told. That should have been an hour and a half episode.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Here before too long, we're going to keep going. So, and I mean that.
Like, once we get to that point.
When you get Jay, that'd be my advice to anybody that's doing a podcast. Is there's formats, there's algorithms or whatever, but when you get somebody telling a story, that's what people want to hear.
Yep.
And to have a guy like Matt Brickley
and Jay,
I just talk. Like I could talk forever. My stories might not be any good, but I'll just keep telling them.
Hey,
keep listening.
But if you get a guy like Matt Brickley, I just forgot the other guy's name. I had a 4-time Stanley Cup winner on my Kevin McClelland. I had Kevin McClelland on the show. Mm-hmm. He's won 4 Stanley Cups playing on a line with Wayne Gretzky. Let those guys tell stories.
Yep. Exactly.
Don't worry about the algorithm. Yeah.
Well, and that's
people are going to stay and listen.
That's the thing, though, is like it's not about It's not about having the big times on immediately. That kind of can come. Right now, like I want you on. I want Arc Studios to be with me. I want shout out. Like I want the community to grow.
Yeah.
And that's my most important push. Everything else can fall into place. I want the community to get better. I want them to understand through everything that goes on political. Because, let's be real, we live in Utah. Yeah. It's all political. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, right?
It's almost everywhere you go is going to be political.
Well, without a doubt. Yeah. Without a doubt. But when I say political, it doesn't mean politics like Trump Biden.
It's parents.
Because we've got
parents.
We're talking sports politics.
Yeah.
It's parents that
sports political. Yeah. My kid's better than this. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Or if your kid doesn't make a team, you pull him to another organization or whatever, right? You're just looking. You don't want parents' pocketbooks to be able to determine what Team Utah looks like.
Right.
That's the goal. Let's let the kids figure it out. Let's let people make teams, get cut from teams. Michael Jordan got cut from his team.
Learn how to fail.
He came back
forward.
better.
Fail forward. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like if go out and work for it. If you didn't make it, you got to work for it. Your video games suck. You're ruining your brain.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Yeah, fail forward, work hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, at least they're playing hockey video games.
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, they're not.
No. We still need to play each other on that.
You're going to get your ass mocked. I guarantee Jay would beat my ass. That's the case.
I play Call of Duty and I play Fortnite. Those are the two games
That's
I play.
That's why I said Black Ops earlier. I had the Call of Duty on my mind.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go. Let's
Hey,
play.
if it comes down to Halo, y'all are screwed.
I used to be good at Halo. Now when I play it, it blows my mind how slow it is.
Well, it's
slow.
a different. The mechanics,
just like trying to move.
The mechanics of it are way
I have to readjust my damn controller because it's not the same. And I'm a
Sensitivity,
snipe, dude.
Yeah.
I will freaking no scope the shit out of you.
Hey, that's good to know. We're gonna play. Let's go.
We played for long periods of times at the firehouse.
I love it. All right. Well, are we wrapping up? Yeah, shout out Hockey Stops again. Corey, you're the man.
I want to hear Jay. Let's hear what you have to say. Tell the people of Utah.
Tell the world.
Tell
the
everybody,
world, not the people.
Tell everybody what you got to say about the Utah Hockey Club, about you, about anything.
I might be shaving my beard into a mustache.
I always end my podcast. I'm like, is there anything else you want to say to anybody? And I've never really thought about it myself. One thing for sure is just keep supporting everything that support hockey at all levels. We're going to have the NHL. And if you can't afford to go to the NHL, go to the Utah Grizzlies. And if you can't afford to go to the Utah Grizzlies, Go to the Outliers. Go to the Ogden Mustangs. Go to one of those teams, right? Those are fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Now we have tiered. We have our price tier and we have a skill tier. And then also make sure, like, Hockey Stops is out here. They're not a big corporation, right?
Yeah,
they're a mom and pop shop, and those things are hard.
And he works his ass off.
Yeah, Corey. Like,
Yep.
yeah, and there's other ones, right? I won't say them, but there's a couple other ones out there. And it sucks because you still want to go to the big stores or whatever. You want to support everybody. But make sure you do. Spread it out. Go to the, like, I go to the small shops to get my skate shopping now. Spread it. If you see somebody sponsoring hockey, make sure you support that group. It's like, go to Jersey Mike's, go to Bountiful Mazda.
Yep.
They're not my
Chipman Roofing.
Yeah, go to Chipman Roofing. They're not my, but Chipman Roofing is still my sponsor. I was trying not to just hit.
Well, no.
So,
No, you're
but just support those that are supporting what you listen to and what you love.
And to add to that, like, if you guys have any questions watching this, do not hesitate to reach out to me or Cole. I mean,
Comment.
we will be able
we'll see the comments.
Comment, message, whatever you need to do. Please reach out because we want this to grow. It's not just us. It's the fact that we are here for you. And if your kid wants to try hockey, let's go.
I want the community to grow more than this podcast.
Absolutely.
And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm in love with the sport. My nephews are very big hockey players. And my nephew is actually like on the top lists of goalies right now.
Didn't even know that either.
Yeah, he's doing very well. And,
Absolutely.
Very cool. And it's exciting, and I love it, and I love to see it.
And he broke that on me, and I was like, what? Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
nope. But yeah, get out there and support them.
Absolutely.
And then you guys are going to get, like, at some point, because I've always saying the same thing, like, hey, if you got any questions or whatever, just email me. And then all of a sudden, one day you start having 200 emails a day, and you're like, I'm trying. All right. Like, I'm trying to get back to everybody. But at some point, I got to watch some TikTok videos. So, like I pulled up here today, and I replied to, 11 emails, and then I'm like,
And respect that, and understand that,
Jay's
people like Jay, maybe we'll get there one day, but if you reach out to us,
I know.
There's a dance with it. We see it. And
we're here to
we
support
appreciate it, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. And
Without
I know
a doubt.
Jay,
we're all doing the same thing, man. We're all in it together.
Without a doubt.
So,
thank you so much.
There we go.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Utah Hockey Club season kicks off. When's the first game? October
8th.
October 8th.
Yep.
Versus the Blackhawks.
Camp starts September 18th.
It's going to be awesome. We're going to get
rookie tournament September 13th in LA.
There we go.
I know.
We're going to attempt to get the Golden Eagles players. We're not going to name those players yet, but we're going to attempt to get them here to do the ceremonial puck drop.
Let's go.
At least during the season, right? Like,
Jay.
if it's not the first game, fine.
Yeah.
But it would make sense to do the first game.
It does make sense. And I, like I said, I know they've talked about it, and I don't know who they've talked to. But I know
that's where you come in. We got to keep talking.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thanks again. This has been the Puck Drop Podcast, special episode with Jay Stevens from the Utah Puck Report. Make sure you check out his podcast. He's got amazing interviews with all the players, all the coaches, everything. Go back in time from 3, 4, 5 years ago and listen to the old podcast if you want to learn more about the Utah hockey scene. Anyways, thanks
Such
again.
a beauty.
Slow clap. Hey,
Beauty.
Trevor started a slow clap.
Beauty.
Let's do a slow clap.
Beauty.
Yes.
Just beauty. Pure beauty.